Mandeep, give us your first thoughts on what you make of this.
Well, it looks like a very impressive beat on the top line, and as was expected, I think there was a nice advertising tailwind, so you can see that in Facebook's results. Probably slightly disappointing on the daily active user side. Sequentially, it didn't grow much.
Yeah.
But look, that could have been due to, the Trump effect and some users leaving the platform.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, the engagement levels are so strong with Facebook, and, you look across the board, Instagram, WhatsApp, they just have that user base. 40% of world's population uses Facebook's products every day, and that's very impressive.
All right, we're speaking here with Mandeep Singh of Bloomberg Intelligence. He's helping us break down the numbers on Facebook. While he's speaking, Tesla numbers crossing the wire. Adjusted EPS coming in at 80 cents. The estimate was for $1.03. That was the consensus. 4Q revenue, $10.74 billion. That's slightly above the estimate for $10.38 billion. Free cash flow here for Tesla. There you have it, $1.9 billion. That's the free cash flow number for Q4. Taylor, I know you're all over free cash flow, and you understand it better than most of us here. That's well above estimates, and it's what a lot of people want to see. Basically, a company that could stand on its own without having to keep going back to the till to borrow more.
Exactly. That's exactly sort of what they wanted to see. I want to continue to talk about fundamental analysis. We're going to switch back gears and go back to Mandeep Singh here of Bloomberg Intelligence to continue the talks about Facebook. And Mandeep, you made a good point that so many people use that platform on a daily basis. Where, though, is the next leg of growth? Gene Munster over at Loop, formerly at Loop Ventures, was making the point that Facebook needs the innovation of engine for further growth. Where do you see that?
Well, so you look at the trajectory of Google, they really pioneered search advertising, and gradually they branched into cloud. And, with YouTube, they also diversified into video and streaming. So in case of Facebook, I think e-commerce looks to be a natural extension of what they are doing, and they have started to partner with the likes of Shopify. And I expect, e-commerce could be the next leg of growth, and Facebook has that user base, that engagement. And when you look at China, where, social and e-commerce go hand in hand, there's no reason why Facebook can't do the same here in the U.S. and Europe.
It's interesting looking at the actual commentary coming out of the statement from Facebook, the CFO Outlook commentary saying like they face significant uncertainty. We've heard that from Facebook before, but they're really talking about these cross currents they experienced in 2020 and whether they'll help or hinder 2021. They're talking about having benefited from economic trends playing out in the pandemic, about the shift online and also the shift in consumer demand towards products and away from services. They say a moderation or reversal in one or both of these trends could serve as a headwind to our advertising revenue growth. How worried are you about revenue growth in the advertising space going forward for Facebook, Mandeep?
So we know Facebook is really good when it comes to the ARPU, the average revenue per user, and they probably have done the best job of monetizing their user base relative to other social media platforms. I think they're just being conservative here because if the economic activity continues and, picks up pace, there is no reason for, small businesses to pull back on what they have started to do amid the pandemic, which is really pivot to digital advertising. And Facebook, with its scale, really is the dominant player out there when it comes to digital advertising.